I want to take this opportunity to share my passion with you around not settling. And I don't mean settling for less than you can achieve. I mean something more specific. I mean settling between two things that you want that are important to you. And this is off the back of me thinking about a few conversations I'm in right now with people who want to come to be with us, Creating Love and Power in Santa Monica on November 9th to 12th. But who are saying they can't because there's something else that's really important to them. Despite wanting to, they can't because they got something important. They got somebody they got to take care of. They got to spend more time with their partner. It's a financial stretch. And so basically that means I want to have money in the bank that I would otherwise be spending on this event. So there's two things you want. And you believe that you have to choose between them. And the fact is that that's one way of seeing it. And as long as you choose one of those things, or maybe that you choose the one that quote unquote matters more to you, then you're in alignment and you're in your truth. And that's all good, and that's true. The problem with that is it's missing out a transcendent possibility where you could actually serve both things that you want. You could be all the support for your partner and more. You could have all the money in the bank you want to have and more. You could, be there in a way that your partner wants you to be, and you could still come to the event. You can still invest the money and come to the event. So at first that's going to sound like, well, how can you have both of those things? Of course it's going to sound that way because you're experiencing them as alternatives instead of parts of a single solution. So for example, if I want to go on to an event, which often is the case, when I go to an intensive somewhere, a meditation retreat, I want to do something that costs money, and my wife wants support, it's like, well, I got to find a way to her to feel even more supported than she would feel if I'm home normally, and get myself to this event. Maybe that's going to mean bringing in people. How about I invite your friend to come and stay with us, and I pay for you guys to do X, Y, and Z? How about I take you with me? Oh, that's loud. How about I take you with me and we hire childcare and you get to see the city while we're there? And then it's like, okay, how about this? How about that? Just getting creative, right? And then of course, what does it come down to? Then it comes down to resources. Well, sure, I could come up with a solution, but that's going to cost a lot more money. And I already don't want to spend the money. I want to have the money, not spend the money on this. Which we can get into another conversation another time about how spending the money on a training like this is stupid. Investing it knowing that you're going to create a return on your investment because you're an asset, that's a way better mindset. But I'm not talking about that right now. Let's stay with the spending frame. I don't want to spend that. So what am I going to do? I've got a solution that everybody's happy, but it's going to cost even more money. I don't have that. Well, here's the opportunity to grow. Using a context within which you think you have to choose between two things and turning it into a context where you're choosing a transcendent solution that serves all of it, where you get all of it. What that does, the only way that can happen is if I create something that's extraordinary, that's outside the realm of what I was even thinking, that I would even feel maybe it's impossible. So how am I going to do that? I love this concept that 10x is easier than 2x, because to do 2 times as much, you have to try twice as hard doing the same thing you're doing. But when you 10x a solution, you have to come at it a totally different way. You have to take what I call a quantum action. A quantum action is an extraordinarily different type of action than you normally take. But it's a small action. But the thing with that action is, if it works out, hey, it might be 1 in 10, 1 in 100 chance of it working out. But if it does, the result is so massive, it's like a quantum leap. So an ask for something extraordinary. Maybe I have a service I charge a few grand for, and I'm going to say, you know what? The same service is 15 grand. I'm not changing anything but the price. And I'm just going to ask people. I'm going to make the same impact, and I ask for 5 times as much money. If somebody says yes, freaking hell, then I can go on the trip. I can pay for this. I pay for that. Everything is even better than it would have been if I chose one of these 2 supposed alternatives in the first place. So what I'm really presenting you with is an opportunity not just to have everything that you want, but for an opportunity to challenge you, to use this idea that you have to choose between things as an opportunity to call you into a context for growth that will not only give you a greater sense of power, it'll give you a felt experience and understanding of creating transcendent possibilities, both and solutions, and using those as a context for your growth. So it will teach you to meet challenges and supposed alternatives in your life in a whole new way. And you'll have not only an awesome experience in this one-off situation, but you'll have a new way of meeting supposed alternatives in the future. That's the both hand. I love you. I'll see you at Creating Love and Power in Santa Monica. And I hope to hear the story. I look forward to hearing the story about everything you thought you had to choose between in order to be here. Not having to choose, but being able to have it and provide it for everybody. Don't settle. Don't settle for you. Don't settle for the people in your life. Don't settle financially. Commit to all of it and let that call you into massive growth. I love you. I'll see you soon.